What's up, guys? Happy Sunday. I am here. I made it. I'm sleepy, but I'm here. All right. Give people some time to get on and get joined. So I have a couple of announcements that I want to make tonight. So let me make a note. All right. Just wanted to make a note to myself because I don't want to forget to mention these things before I hang up. So it's 8:30. I'm gonna go ahead and get started because I did some laundry and I need to put my clothes away before I go to bed. And yeah. So tonight we're going to be doing a live panel discussion. So this should be very interesting. I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys think. So I'm going to be asking some would you rather questions, and I hope that everyone will participate because this is supposed to be an engaging discussion that we're going to do live. And I want you guys to make sure that you post your comments. I know sometimes when you post, it could be a little delayed, so I will have to wait a little bit to see it, but I want you guys to post. I want you guys to be active and join in on the questions, okay? Because your questions matter. I mean, your answers matter to these questions, and it's going to help move the discussion along, okay? So before I get all into that, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Berjo, or Be Elise, whichever one you can remember. I go by both. I am the owner of Be Elise Notary Services as well as the Notary Education Group. Every Sunday, I come here on our channel live to talk to you guys about notary and business related topics and share some tips, stories, and answer your questions in real time. All right, so if you are new to the channel, please make sure that you like the video if you liked it. Make sure that you subscribe because if you don't, you won't be notified when I do go live. All right. Hi, Michael. Happy Sunday. I'm trying to see how many people I'm going to get because this Would You Rather is not going to be fun if I don't get at least 5 people on so that we can have a discussion about our answers. Right. So, how is your day going so far? Did you have a good week? I had a busy week. And it's so funny because it's like the week starts out where, you know, it's kind of scarce. So you really don't know. One thing about being a full-time notary, you really don't know how your week is going to go until you get to that week, okay? Because sometimes you have people that will book appointments in advance, and then sometimes they book appointments just on the same day or, the next day. And so you just never, oh, darn. Your wife gave you a cold. Oh man, I'm sorry. Weren't you just sick? You were just sick too. So yeah, you just never know how that week is gonna go. But I ended up having a busy week. This week, let's see how my week is looking for this week coming up. I have a hair appointment on Saturday. I'm happy about that. It was supposed to be this weekend that just passed, but it had to get pushed out a week. Finally gonna get a console for my eyebrows because this one that I keep having a tint is very light and I'm just tired of having to do that. And so for tomorrow, I have 3 appointments so far. Nothing on Tuesday or Wednesday yet. Thursday, I have 2 appointments. Friday, nothing yet. And then you guys know I'm closed on Saturday. So we're going to see how that goes for the week. All right. Let's see. It says I have three people. Who is my third person? Or, who's the three? I don't think that includes me. Make sure you guys make yourself known. I want to know who's watching. I want to know where you're watching from because I want to get into these questions. It's going to be fun. Let me pull them up as a matter of fact. Pull them up. And I posted some shorts. I don't know if y'all got a chance to see those, but I went to a networking event and I heard some terrible things about, you know, what notaries are doing. They're notarizing documents for people who are not in their physical presence, online or in person. They're just getting copies of their IDs, calling them on the phone. It's you, and it's notarizing the documents. And I'm like, wait, what? That's not supposed to happen. Like, please don't tell anybody else that because that notary can get in some big trouble and lose their commission, because we're not supposed to do that. So I was like, ew, my goodness. So I put out a, public announcement. Any other notaries that do that, please stop immediately. Do not do that. You can, all it takes is for one person to report you and it's over. Okay, so don't notarize documents for people when they're not in your presence. Okay, that's a big no. That's against the law everywhere. Like, I don't know any state that allows notaries to notarize documents for people who are not in their presence. Even if they're signing on behalf of somebody, the person who's signing has to be present, period. It may be me, I'm long two places. You're long two places? What does that mean, Michael? They don't know what that means. All right, well, I guess that we're going to go ahead and get started. Oh, I got one more person. I need to know that you guys are here and that you're not just watching because tonight is going to be a live discussion panel, which means I'm going to be asking questions and I need you guys to answer those questions, okay? So, the first category is going to be business growth and strategy, okay? So, would you rather have a steady flow of small, consistent paying clients or land one large, high paying client every few months? Drop your answers in the comments. So I'll answer that. I wait, let me wait before I answer because I don't know. Would I rather have a steady flow of small, consistent paying clients or land one large, high paying client every few months? I mean, if you land, I'm long in two places on the chat. Oh, you're in two places on the chat? Oh, you're logged in. Gotcha. So that's, yeah, I understand what you're saying now. So which one would you rather have, guys? I'll ask again. Would you rather have a steady flow of small, consistent paying clients or land one large, high paying client every few months? So I kind of want to say I would rather have a steady flow of small, consistent paying clients. Because, okay, let's say you do land that one large, high paying client every few months, right? What's going to happen when that large client doesn't want to work with you anymore? So now that like puts a really big dent in your earnings. So having a steady flow, even though it's small, consistent paying clients, it's steady, which means continuous. So what do you guys think about that? Which one would you rather have? I chose steady flow of small, consistent paying clients, and I'll put it here. Michael said the same thing. Hey, Shanika. All right, guys. So you would rather have consistent paying clients. And why? Tell me your reason. I gave you guys my reason because I'm a big um what's the word? I'm really heavy on the not putting my eggs in one basket girl. You know what I mean? So if I got all my, you know, if I'm relying on this one large client every few months, right? I get one large client every few months. So let's just think about it. Every few months, that means every 3 months, right? So that means you got four big clients that you're working with for, you know what I'm saying, the year. And they're large, you know what I'm saying? So you're handling it, but all it takes is one disgruntled person. And now you done lost a large client. Now you down to three. You know what I mean? So it's like, it just sounds really stressful. Like, what do y'all think? I think it sounds really stressful trying to hold on to these large clients versus just having a steady flow of small, um, consistent paying clients. You know what I'm saying? At least they're paying consistently. Large corporations, they tend to take a long time to pay you. You know, because the larger they are, the more moves they making, and the more moves they making, the more they tend to just pay people. You know what I'm saying? A little slower than the smaller, consistent paying people. For example, I used a translator on Friday, right? And I cut her a check the same day. And she was surprised that I paid her so soon. I'm like, well, I'm a one man band, so I don't have to, submit my bills to my accounting department, and then my accounting department review it, and then my accounting department issue out all the checks, and then they mail all the checks out later on in bulk. I don't have all that going on. I'm a one man band, so I I look at all my bills. I pay all of my vendors. That includes witnesses. You are considered a vendor. I pay y'all weekly. So that's what I would think. Like big corporation, I got to give them 30, 60 days to pay me. Whereas a smaller business, they'll pay me the very next day. So that's just kind of where my thought process is on that. And let's see. Michael said agree. Shanika said right. And she agrees too. All right. So I'm going to go on to the next question, guys. We're still under business growth and strategy. So, next question. Would you rather double your social media following overnight or get featured in a major industry publication? Which one would you rather? Mm, I think I would rather get featured in a major industry publication. And I'll tell you why. So, social media is cool. You know what I'm saying? It's very broad, it spreads everywhere. But some of the people that I want to work with don't find me on social media. Exactly, Shanika. The people that I work with, they don't find me on social media. All right. So I don't think that I would want to um, double my social media following. You know what I'm saying? I can count on one hand how many times people have called me because they saw me on social media. So Shanika said featured in a major industry publication, and Michael did too. All right. Next question. Would you rather invest in a high quality website or a top tier marketing consultant? Mm, I kind of would want to do both. You know what I mean? What do y'all think? I kind of want to do both because having the marketing consultant, right? Michael says having a marketing consultant. Having a marketing consultant means that people are going to most times just contact you right from that marketing ad that they saw. Okay. But some people I am guilty of this. I like to go to a website. And if the website is mediocre, it just kind of makes me think like your customer service might be mediocre too. Like, am I the only person that think that? It's like you got these bomb marketing ads, but your website sucks. Like, it's not user friendly. I can't get the information that I'm looking for because sometimes I want to do a little bit more research on what it is I'm looking for. And so when I go to your website, I want your website to be impressive. Yeah, yeah, I want it to be impressive. Shanika said the same thing. So I want to know that I don't have to call you. I want to know if can I book you online for a consultation, or can I pay online? Can I do you have an FAQ, where I can find and see is the question that I have already been answered? So I'm that person. Shanika said, yes, she that person too. I'm that type of person. See, this is why my business is set up with me as a customer because I know how picky I am and I'm very particular. And I know there are a lot of people out there who think the same way I do. Shanika said, exactly. All right. Next category, time and productivity. Would you rather have an extra 10 hours per week for business tasks or an extra 5 hours for personal time? I pick personal time. I pick personal time, okay? Because I feel like since I've started working my business, I do have more time for my family, don't get me wrong, but because I love working my business so much, I tend to make more time for it. So I absolutely would pick 5 extra hours of personal time to be able to be with my family and my kids and my husband. Don't leave him out. Got to have time for him too. Shanika agrees. Nothing like personal time. Absolutely. Because let me tell y'all, I'm closed on Saturdays, right? And my kids were on spring break, and I did not get the opportunity to do anything with them for the week because I worked. But Saturday I'm closed. And yesterday we had a ball. We went and we did mini golf. We had ice cream. We sat down and ate dinner together. And once we did that, the kids were tired. They were like, Mommy, we had so much fun, but we really want to go home now. We're tired. And so we all came home, but it was awesome. And I took pictures and I told my daughter, because y'all know my daughter is my social media marketing content creator. It's a long title, but so I told her to put that together, put the pictures together, and I told her to do a caption of why I'm closed. Like, because I had people ask me, like, why are you closed on Saturday? And I'm like, well, Saturday I'm closed because Saturdays is the day I like to do stuff. Everything's open late on Saturday, and you get the opportunity to just have a whole day fun filled with whatever it is you want to do. I used to be closed on Sundays, but Sundays things close early, and I'm not really wanting to do anything on Sunday but prepare for the week ahead. So that's why I'm closed on Saturdays. So personal time is what I pick. What about you, Michael? Did Michael answer? Thank you, Shanika. Yeah, we had a wonderful time. We really did. I was looking forward to doing that with them. Yeah, Michael said, agree with personal time. My kids are grown. They wouldn't care. Aw. Well, yeah, like Shanika said, there's nothing like personal time. Personal time to do nothing. I tell y'all, on Saturdays when I don't have to work, I wake up late and I don't have to wake up early because things close late on Saturday. So I can plan my day as late as I want. So, absolutely. Next question. Would you rather outsource administrative work or customer service first? Administrative work. I say administrative work because, and I thought about this, I thought about what if I hired AI to like answer my phones because I hate missing calls. I don't like having to call people back or not get the call at all because I'm a small business and I know that the biggest pet peeve that people have about working with small businesses is that they never answer the phone. They feel like bigger corporations have more people to answer the phone so they can get the services they need. But a lot of people want to support small business, and we have to do better with that. So, customer service, I would like to be able to do the customer service. I would absolutely love to outsource the administrative task, though, because let me tell you, Michael said customer service. Michael, why? Why would you like to outsource customer service? I could see that, though. I could see why. But I don't like doing the administrative task. I really don't. I don't like doing my bookkeeping. I don't like doing my invoicing. I don't like having to remember to pay people. Like, I would rather somebody else just do that for me. Like, I don't want to do it. But then again, in the same breath, okay, Shanika says she say administrative tasks. In the same breath, though, it's really hard to find trustworthy people. And I've heard of small businesses, you know, going bankrupt because they hired the wrong damn people to handle their accounting and bookkeeping, and then people got them for their money, and now they're out of business. And bigger corporations, they can handle that type of loss. Small businesses, we can't. Okay, Michael said he would prefer his own customer service. Me too, Shanika. Customer service is really big to me too, and that's where I get a lot of my reviews. People are so I can't tell you how many times people have called me and they're like, "Wow, you're like really happy." Why? I think that that's bad that you notice that because people should be happy. If somebody's calling your business, you should be happy because our customers are what keep us going. If you don't have any customers, well, how's your business going? Whether you offering a service or a product, your customers are what make the business stay alive, right? So why wouldn't you answer the phone with a smile? Like I'm really big on that. So absolutely, guys. I just think it's weird that people point that out. Wow, you're like really happy. Yeah, I am for the most part. All right. Last question for time and productivity. Ooh, this is a big one. I've talked about this before. Would you rather start your workday at 5 a.m. and be done by noon, or work afternoons and evenings with no early mornings? I want to know what y'all think about that. I am my most productive in the morning. I just am. And I don't know why, because I'm not a morning person, but I get a lot done. You know what? I think it is because I have kids. I can get a lot done when my kids are in school. When they get out of school, that's kind of where I'm juggling multiple things, and it's kind of hard for me to stay on top of things. Also, when I start my workday early, I can get more appointments in the day. So, like I've been telling you guys, I've been managing to consistently get 8 appointments in one day. That's because I start early. There's no way I could do 8 appointments in a day and I start late because I close at 8 o'clock. So, you guys say afternoons or evenings. Are you guys more productive in the afternoons or evenings than you are in the morning? Is that why? Okay. Yeah, Shanika said, yeah. Michael says, so am I, but no, very few are up at 5 a.m. Yeah, you're probably right. I think the only people who are up early like that are the people who have to be to work that early or people like me who got kids. I got to get up early because I got to make sure my kids are off to the bus. And my eldest is in high school. She has to be to school super freaking early. So if I don't get up at um, 5:36, she ain't making it. So I'm up early every day except for Saturday and Sunday. All right, guys. Going on to the next topic, client relations and pricing. Ooh. So, Would you rather have clients who always pay full price with no questions, or clients who always refer new business but negotiate discounts? Right off the back, without me even thinking about it, I want customers who pay full price with no questions. Like I don't get a whole lot of people who question my prices, but I can imagine how I would be like just totally tired about explaining why this price is like this. Because I itemize everything. That's probably why I don't get the questions. I itemize all my invoices. So if they ever have a question, they just open up the invoice and they see what's included. Shanika said refer new business. Refer new business, but negotiate discounts though. That's what goes with the refer new business. They're going to be negotiating your price every time, but they're referring people to you though. Absolutely want new business though. Clients who always refer new business but negotiate discounts. Shanika said you will make it up with the new clients. Yeah, but you got to make sure that they not telling the new clients that this is what you charge because they need to know just because I charged you that price or I allowed you to pay that price doesn't mean that the other person's gonna pay that price. You know what I mean? Oh, Michael said he missed the last question. The last question said, would you rather have clients who always pay full price with no questions or clients who always refer new business but negotiate discounts? That was the last question, Michael. Shanika said true. Yeah. Because I've had that happen before where a person will tell me, I'm going to give it to you this price, but when you refer people, please don't tell them that's what I charge because that's not what I charge for that service. I'm just giving you that service. So that would have to be the disclaimer that you give everybody. Like, hey, don't tell them that's what I charge because that's your price. That's not nobody else's price. So what do you say, Michael? Clients who always pay full price with no questions, or clients who always refer new business but negotiate discounts? Okay, Michael said pay full price. All right. All right. Next question. Would you rather work with high maintenance, high paying clients or easygoing, lower paying clients? Hmm. Mm, I really don't know how to answer that one because high maintenance, high paying clients can sometimes be a pain. But on the flip side, um, people who are, let's say, easygoing, people who pay lower prices but easygoing, that can sometimes come back and bite you in the butt. So it's like I don't know. You want the high paying clients, right? But easygoing and lower paying clients, if that can be stress free, I'm always going stress free. Period. Yeah, Shanika said the same thing. Shanika said, easy going, low paying. I'm always go with the stress free because I don't want no stress. That's why I closed my travel agency because travel was very stressful. Okay, because you have people who are just really picky and you can put together the best package and they'll go for it. And then they want to make changes. And then they mad because they got to pay to make the changes. But in the email that I sent you when you booked, it said that if you make changes after a certain amount of time, there is going to be a penalty. Well, I just decided I wanted to do it now. And no. So yeah, Shanika said right. And then Michael said, high paying clients, if you're going to have a headache, it may as well be worth it. Oh, Shanika said, I need my peace. Michael said, might as well be worth it, huh? All right, guys. Next question. Would you rather charge a premium price for exclusivity or offer competitive pricing for a higher volume of clients? That's a no-brainer to me. Offer competitive pricing for a higher volume of clients. That's what I pick. I don't I don't have exclusive clients or like an exclusive tier of people. I just have my prices at a competitive rate because I do want them to work with me and I still want to make some money. Okay, so okay. Shanika said competitive pricing. Yeah. And Michael said the same thing. Competitive pricing. All right. We're going on to the next category. Branding and marketing. All right. This is interesting. So, would you rather go viral once but struggle to maintain engagement or have slow, steady audience growth? I've been slow and steady ever since I got into the game. It never was a big thing for me to be this big social media connoisseur. No. I want to be seen, and yeah, I do want to pop up on the timeline, but I don't care about going viral. I really don't. I don't care about having 20K followers or nothing like that. I just want my message to get across to the right people so that we all can be successful in business. So for me, slow, steady. That's what Shanika said too. Slow and steady audience growth. Yeah, because you know what? I'll tell you guys, I've been at I think 1,000 followers since I don't know when. That number has not grown, and I really don't. I've only paid attention to it this past week because I've had a lot of people following me, and so I've been getting notifications saying you have this person following you, you should follow them back. And I never really was big on that, but I was like, well, yeah, that makes sense. So I've been following people back, and as I'm following them, I guess the people who are with them are following me. So I'm like, oh, okay. I see that's how it works now, I guess. You follow, they follow, whatever. But yeah, I'm still at a thousand. And it's been like that for years and it ain't growing and I really don't care. So yeah. All right, next. And it's not and to go back to that, it's not that people don't know me and I don't have a strong online presence, but it's just I'm just not the person that's sitting up there feeding people empty dreams, is what I'll say. I'm not going to tell you that you're going to make six figures in 30 days. That's not going to happen. I'm not going to tell you that you could do no work and get paid. I'm just, so that's why I'm not viral. Is that what it is? That's why I'm not viral. All right, next question. Would you rather have a personal brand tied to your business or a separate business identity that allows you to stay behind the scenes? Exactly, Shanika. That's what everybody's looking for, a quick fix, and it's not. No business is. You get out of your business what you put into it, pretty much. So if you ain't putting nothing into it, you ain't gonna get nothing out of it. You know? All right, question again. Would you rather have a personal brand tied to your business or a separate business identity that allows you to stay behind the scenes? I'm really big on my brand. I feel like I am the face of it. And so I'm okay with having a personal brand tied to my business. That's also why people you know, pick me or prefer to work with me, because of the personal touch. Shanika said the same thing, personal brand. What about you, Michael? Would you rather have a personal brand tied to your business or a separate business identity that allows you to stay behind the scenes? Let me put some Vaseline on my lips. Yep. So personal brand for you too, Michael. All right. Oh wait, yeah. Last question for this topic. Would you rather do a live video marketing campaign or write a series of blog posts to promote your business? So I like writing, so I would choose blog posts to promote my business. I just really started getting comfortable with being on camera. I still at times am not, because like me just sitting here talking to you guys live is cool. But when I get on here, I literally have things planned out. Going live and not having a plan, I kind of feel like I'm all over the place. And so it's like, uh, you guys would like to do live video? I'm a, it's probably because, like I said, I like to write. So blog posts, I do blog posts on my website. I'm not sure how well they do. I have told my daughter to share it when she's posting, share my blog post so that people will go and see it, but I'm not sure how it's going with that. I don't have any comments on it, so maybe people aren't seeing it. I don't know. Or maybe they're reading it and they don't want to comment. I don't know. But yeah, I like blog posts, a series of blog posts. All right, so we got our next topic, and this is our last topic. Thank you guys for hanging in here with me. This is fun though. Operations and final decisions. All right, so here's the question. Would you rather have a business loan to expand or grow at a slower pace with no, wait, okay, would you rather have a business loan to expand or grow at a slower pace with no debt? Oh, thank you, Michael. Would you rather have a business loan to expand or grow at a slower pace with no debt? I pick no debt. You know, I already got enough debt in my personal stuff, so having debt in my business too, I don't wish to do that. But you do have some people where having the money starting out in their business, it helped them to grow a lot quicker, than people like me. I started my business when I was working a full-time job, and I worked that same full-time job for the first 3 years that my business existed. This is year 5, and this is my second year being full-time. So it's just, I had to use the money from my personal job to fund my business. And I preferred it that way. Yeah, it meant that I moved at a slower pace. It meant that I acquired a lot of the equipment that I have, uh, you know, way slower than other people did. But I eventually got there, you know what I mean? And I don't have any business debt, so I'm cool with it. Michael said no debts. Shanika said no debt. Definitely. Exactly. Shanika said she works a full-time job also. Yeah, so it's like I don't want debt in two places. I already got debt in personal life, you know what I'm saying? So I don't need it in my business too. So yeah, so we all agree on that one. All right, next question. Would you rather spend money on a professional coach or a high-end software tool to automate tasks? Mm, spend money on a professional coach or a high-end software tool to automate tasks. So this is what I think about that. I like software. I really do. But with high-end software means that okay, it's going to be automated, but I got to make it automate the way I need it to be, which means I have to put in a lot of work to learn the software, right? So I think I would rather have a professional coach. You know what I'm saying? That's going to coach me and just show me a better way to do things. I would still want to automate tasks, but I have Zoho One right now, which is an all-in-one suite for my business. And I'm still learning how to use it. I've been using Zoho One since I had my travel agency. I think I opened my travel agency in, it was either 2016 or 2018, and I closed it. No, it was 2016 because I had that travel agency for, I think, 5 years. I think I closed it in 21. Yeah. So I've been using Zoho that long, and it's a good, um, you know, um, program or whatever, but they they're always changing and upgrading and making things better. And every time they change, I got to learn how to do something new because I'm using a lot of the apps that are included with that all-in-one, and it's a headache. It is such a headache. I mean, it works for me because, but I had to put into it to make things work the way it's working, and it's a headache. So I'm with y'all. Let me give me a professional coach. Give me a professional coach, okay? All right. Last question for this one. Would you rather have an emergency fund that covers 6 months of expenses or a business investment that could double your revenue? I say emergency fund that covers 6 months of expenses because God forbid I get sick. Okay. If I'm not working, my business ain't. That's just it. So an emergency fund would be something I would want, because if let's just say I couldn't leave. I do a lot of online notary, so that would work. I could do that from home, if I'm bedridden or whatever. I wouldn't be able to do any mobile, if something happened, if I got ill. But what if I couldn't do the online either? And expenses still got to get paid. You know, expenses not going to stop just because you're not working your business actively at the moment. So yeah, so Shanika, she agrees. Emergency fund. Yeah, I have to choose that. Have that can cover 6 months of expenses? Absolutely. Because the business investment that could double my revenue, if I'm ill, how is it? I'm in Georgia, so we can do online. Georgia notaries can. Oh, you can't. I was about to say Georgia notaries can do online. I thought y'all couldn't. Okay, you said you can't. Right. So if you can't do your mobile work, then that's it, right? And Michael said emergency funds always a good thing. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, that was the end of the Would You Rather questions, guys. That was fun. Thank you so much for doing that with me. Now, I had a couple of announcements I want to share. So, guys, don't forget that I have the notary shop on the notary education group. Okay. Because I had someone, they called me just to ask me about where to find something on my website. And I was like, you can't schedule an appointment to just do that. Like you have to go on the website because there are different tabs on the website where it'll take you to what you're looking for. And I feel like people go to the home page and they stop right there, but no, if you go on the menu, it'll take you to what you're looking for. I also had another person ask me, um, they said they couldn't get into the library. And I'm like, well, no, the library is a fee. You pay a one-time fee and you have unlimited access to it. But they were looking for a Florida certificate for copy certifications. And all of my Florida certificates are free. And they're listed under the tab that says Florida Notary Certificates and Resources or something. So, or I think it says forms or whatever. But in any event, you have to go past the home page on the Notary Education Group to find what you're looking for. All right. I'm going to post a link. And don't get me wrong, I love having you guys call me and I love talking to you guys and chopping it up about your business and notary stuff. But please, if you are looking for something that's right there on the website, please make sure you go to the other pages. Don't just stop on the home page. Okay, there's a bunch of stuff on the website, and the menu is where it's going to take you to what you're looking for. I promise. Okay, my supplies vendor, that is still pending, and they're still going to offer supplies to my students in the academy. It's just that I needed for him to add some things that he didn't have on there, so he has to wait to get them. And so I think it's going to be like another week or two, and then I'm going to post the link that's going to go to his supply store, and then you guys will be able to order the supplies that you need for your business. All right. And then business meetings. All right. I am not going to do the monthly business meetings because you guys are showing up. And I told you guys this before. If you're going to have me do these business meetings, you got to show up. All right. And I hate to say it's a waste of my time, but it really is because I'm doing this for you guys. I already have business meetings for my business on a personal level because I work my business full time. So I need to make sure that everything is the way it's supposed to be at all times. And I do this monthly at the end of every month. Now, what I did suggest in the beginning, remember in January, I suggested that we do quarterly. I think quarterly meetings will be better. And the reason being is because not all of you guys are full time notaries. I'm a full time notary, so I have a lot more going on in a month than a person who is working a full time job and they're just operating their business on a part time basis. When I was operating my business part time, I didn't have a whole lot going on for the month. So doing business meetings on a quarterly basis works better because I get a bigger picture of what's going on in 3 months versus just 1 month. Okay, so I think that I'm going to go ahead and change the business meetings to quarterly. Okay, and I'm going to do that after this month. And the reason being is because this is going to be the end of the quarter, March 31st. That's the end of the first quarter of the year, and then we're going to jump into the second quarter. And so after this one, every other one. Hi, Jamari. Oh, thank you. You are welcome. No problem. Um, yeah, so this March 31st is going to be the end of quarter one meeting, and then we're going to have the Q2 meeting, which will be June, and then quarter three, and then quarter four. So that's what I'm going to do. All right, guys. And I had somebody ask about t-shirts too. You guys, please go to the other pages on the website. Okay, everything is on my website. My t-shirts that y'all see me wearing all the time, my journals and my books. Um, right now, I do have some notary supplies, but it's via Amazon. Some people don't want to go on Amazon. So if you want to wait until I get my supplier information on my website, you can absolutely wait. I think it's going to be, like I said, like 2 weeks. But if you want to become a Florida notary or you need to renew your commission, you can do that from my website as well. I am an approved person for that. Um, I really think that was it. I think that's all I want to talk about. But the business meeting was the really big one because, like I said, I don't want to waste my time sitting up there every month waiting on y'all to join and y'all not coming in. All right. And like I said, I get it. I worked a W-2 job for 3 years while I worked my notary business. So I absolutely understand if you don't have a whole lot going on in a month. Totally understand. But quarterly, you should have something to produce and talk about, honestly. So if you're not doing no work in 3 months, you may want to reevaluate some things. I mean, I'm just saying. So that was all I had for today, guys. Do you have any questions? Did y'all enjoy the Would You Rather questions? I really enjoyed that. I wanted to do it. I saw someone else did it on Alignable. If any of you are on Alignable, they do it in their small business. It's SMB Owners Group, I think is what it's called. And they do that all the time. And I really enjoy answering the questions and then reading the comments of other people and their answers. I just really enjoy it. So thank you guys for participating. That was fun for me. All right, Shanika and Michael. Good. I'm glad that you guys liked it too. All right, well, guys, I'm gonna go. Got to put some laundry away and get ready for tomorrow. Um, you guys have a good night, a wonderful week, and I will talk to you guys. For those of you who will be attending the business meeting, I will see you Sunday. Um, or no, I will see you 29th. I'm sorry, Saturday. I do it on the last Saturday of the month. I will see you on the 29th at the same time, 8:30 p.m., I believe. So I'll see you guys then. And then for those of you who will not be attending the business meeting, I will see you on the 30th, which is Sunday. All right. Everyone have a good night. Bye.